Hey guys, this week for Weapons Wednesday I decided to show off some of our samurai swords. We started carrying some really cool ones, so I just wanted to show you what they looked like. Alright, so let's see, we'll start with this guy here. Okay, I chose this one specifically because it's a little bit different from a lot of our other swords. Okay. So this is our unsharpened, hand-forged samurai katana. And if you look at it, it's got a completely unsharpened blade. It's made from a 1045 carbon steel, which is actually perfect for this kind of sword. It's great. An unsharpened sword in general is perfect for martial arts practitioners because it allows you to practice your katas, perform in your dojo, do tournament katas without being worried about hurting someone else or hurting yourself with a sharpened blade. And the really nice thing about a 1045 carbon steel is that it can easily be sharpened. So if you wanted to make this a sharp blade, that'd be pretty easy to do. But if we look at this, it's actually really cool. We've got ray skin in the handle, which allows for better grip. The tsuba itself, which is this part right here, the tsuba is just really a really cool decoration, and it's a nice solid tsuba. If you look at the blade itself, you can see the hamon line, which is where it's been heat treated. And you can see it's just a really cool hamon line. So I like this sword. I think it's awesome. For people who are looking for an unsharpened sword, you really can't go wrong with this sword. So it's pretty cool. I'll put that guy back real quick. Okay. So the next one I wanted to show off is one of our most popular swords. And it's actually up top, unfortunately. But the reason this sword is so popular is because it comes with so much. So this is our hand-forged samurai katana. I'm just going to move this over here. But what's so cool about it is it comes with this decorative box, which makes it really nice for being able to store for a while. You open it up and we've got a nice sword bag that's over the katana itself. And it also comes with this sword maintenance kit, which, here, let's take a look at that first. I don't even know what's in this, so it'll be interesting to see, but it looks like we've got a couple different types of oil in there. And then we've got a cloth, a cleaning cloth. We've got the little powder ball, and we got the hammer. These little hammers are kind of neat. They're like a little brass hammer that's used to put the little wooden dowels with little wooden pins in through the handle. So you can take off the blade and put it back on and clean it. So that's kind of a neat little sword cleaning kit. And let's look at the sword itself. What I like about this too is this is a fairly inexpensive sword considering everything it comes with. Okay, so yeah, this is a full Tang sword, which is nice, which means that the blade itself actually goes all the way through the handle. Which means it's going to be pretty good for actual slicing. The blade is, it's a hardened high carbon steel. I'm going to guess this is a 1045 carbon steel. You can see that it's got the hamon on there where it's been heat treated. Yeah, so the tsuba itself is really decorative and nice. There's some pictures of some samurai on it. Really cool tsuba. And it's got a long blood groove going down the blade, which is preferable for most swordsmen. The handle itself has faux ray skin in it, which That's definitely a preference of sword practitioners, whether they want to have real ray skin or whether they want to have faux ray skin. The ray skin in general is good for grip, and they put the wrap around the ray skin to hold the wrap on there better. But in the feudal Japanese time, they used real ray skin, like manta ray or stingray, even sawfish sometimes, to hold the wrap onto the handle better. It just provided a good grip. But nowadays, a lot of people do prefer a faux ray skin, but that's just a preference, up to you as far as how you want that to go. But this is a really cool sword, especially for its price, coming with a gift box. The fact that it's full Tang, the nice Suba, it's got a wonderful weight to it. It really does, and it is a high carbon steel blade, so you would be able to sharpen this. I think it's just an awesome sword in general. So I'm gonna put this away. And this one right here, I thought would be a good one to show you. I like this. I actually love these swords. But there's a lot of misconceptions about them, so that's why I want to show it to you. I think these are so cool. All right, so this is a traditional Japanese Shirisaya sword. And if you notice, the sword itself doesn't have any Suba. It's basically just a wooden handle, no decoration. It's just a really nice, shiny wooden handle and scabbard, but a really nice blade on there. So when you watch movies like sword fighting movies, often you'll see, especially in like Hollywood films, you'll see Japanese warriors fighting with these swords, these Shirisaya swords. And the problem with that is this type of sword was never made for combat. In feudal Japan, often there would be a bladesman or a blacksmith who would make the blade, but they didn't make the adornments for the swords. They didn't make the subas, they didn't make the wrapped handles. So they would make the blade and they'd make it perfect, but then they'd put it into a casing, which is this Shirisaya, and that would be basically like a carrying case for the blade while they were still making the suba and the handle. And this was often just used for transportation, for storage, but a lot of people like to actually use them for, you know, sword fighting and stuff like that too, but that's not really what they were made for. But they look really great on a mantle or on display. They're just a really, really cool sword. So definitely recommend a Shirisaya sword, because they just look cool, especially if you have a nice sword stand. You can put that on top of, you know, your fireplace or something. So I'm going to put that guy away. And the next sword I'm going to show you is a little bit different. It's not very traditional at all. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Okay. It's not very traditional at all, but I wanted to show it to you just to see something that's been more popular as of late. And that's the Anodized Blade. So if you want something that looks a little bit different when you're buying a sword, actually kind of a cool idea, because so many people, when you see their sword collections, it's like the same sword over and over. You know, a black scabbard with a, you know, just standard carbon steel blade. But this sword is a little bit different. It's got an orange scabbard, which is different in itself. The suba is very decorative. It's like a golden copper looking suba. Pretty cool looking. But the blade is what I really wanted to show you. So this is a standard 1045 carbon steel blade, which means that it can be well sharpened. It's actually very sharp already. But they anodized it, so it's got this beautiful golden copper color to it, which just makes it look a little bit different from other swords. So I really like this. You see it a lot. We've been carrying some different ones. We've carried ones that have like a blue finish on it. We've had copper, we've had gold. We have a bunch of different finishes on a bunch of our different swords. But that's the reason I'm showing you this sword. It's a pretty cool color on the blade. So I'm gonna put that away. And okay, so this right here is one of my favorites that we have right now. I absolutely love this sword. And this is the full Tang carbon steel samurai katana. All of these swords, I'll put links to them at the bottom of the video so you can find them on our website. But I just absolutely love this sword. And it's so obvious when you look at it. Like, look at this Tsuba. This is just beautiful. This is a brass Tsuba. It's a little better quality than a lot of the other Tsubas. You can see in the handle, it's got real ray skin. Just very well made. You can just feel the quality in this sword. The blade itself is one of the coolest things about it. This is actually a 1060 carbon steel blade. And the reason why you always see a hamon on these blades is because the spine of the blade, or the back part of the blade, needs to be more flexible than the blade itself. The blade itself has to be super hard so that when it's actually slicing something, it's not going to chip. But the blade itself has to be slightly flexible so that it doesn't break or shatter when it's striking an object. A lot of time on these swords, you'll see that the hamon is kind of like very symmetrical. It'll go in a certain pattern. But if you see that it's not really a pattern, and you can tell that it's actually the heat that created the hamon, that's the sign of a really good sword blade. So I really like this sword. This is 1060 carbon steel, well heat treated. The Tsuba is amazing on this, and the weight, the feeling of it is just perfect. And you can see throughout the handle, like you can see the peg there is going into the second part of where the blade comes down. This is a full Tang sword for sure. The blade actually goes all the way through the handle and down to the base. A very, very good quality sword. So that's probably my favorite that's on the site right now. But if there's any other swords that you'd like to see a video review of, just let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to show them off for you in a future video. So anyway, have a great week, guys. We'll see you soon.